Hello everyone, this is Clint with Got to Get It Done, where I'd like to talk about technology, productivity, and using technology for productivity. Today I'd like to discuss several productive ways I guess you can use your Apple Watch. Yeah, the Apple Watch is really handy. A lot of these things you can do on your phone, but because that watch is with you everywhere you go, it makes it pretty convenient to be productive. Okay, the first thing I'd like to talk about is home automation. Um, you can use your watch for home automation if you have it in HomeKit, and if you don't have it in HomeKit, you still can use it for several different apps. Example would be, um, let's see, Uconnect. So here's an app that connects to my Jeep. It's just like the one on my phone. You can use it to start the truck, lock the truck. It works really well. Of course, you have remote start on your key, but that only has a limited range. And I can tell you now, you're sitting in a restaurant and it's super cold. It sure is nice to pull this up real quick and get the vehicle started. It works really good. Another one that I use a lot too that doesn't necessarily have to be in HomeKit is my Q. So my garage doors are smart, and I can take a look at these and oops. And then yeah, see if they're closed. I use this more to see if they're closed. I have one of those weird phobias where I think that I always forget to close the garage door. I think I probably forget to close it twice a year, but I seem to check it all the time. But this is also pretty handy when I go for a run or a walk outside and I want to be able to come in through the garage and I don't have my phone or anything with me. I can just click that before I even get there. Garage door is open, ready to go. I really like it. It works really good. And of course, you have the home app itself, where if you have anything in HomeKit, you'll be able to see it directly from here. So you can run your scenes. You can run very specific lights, however you want to do. It's pretty handy. I'll be honest, I don't use this as much. But it is there if you wanted to use it. One of the things that I use mostly with my home stuff besides my garage doors is Siri. So Siri is the next thing I want to talk about. Of course, Siri is super, super handy when it's on your wrist. You can use it for adding stuff to lists or controlling your home. And one of those productive things I think is the adding things to a list and adding reminders. So one of the key elements of being productive is being able to remember everything. And of course, we can't remember everything. So it's nice to be able to write it down. And the key to that is write it down as soon as you think about it. Otherwise, you'll probably forget about it within a few minutes or a few seconds even sometimes. And Siri's really handy for that, to be able to do that, add them to your lists. And if you need to write something down or you just need to remember to do something and you don't need to add it to a list, and you just use the reminder function. Siri works really good just to remind you. You just tell them to remind yourself of whatever you need to in 30 minutes, an hour, or whatever, tomorrow, in 5 days, because you're thinking about it today, and then you can forget about it and your brain gets to relax, and you when that pops up, you're going to feel like a productivity champ when you remember to do something. It works really, really well. And a couple things I recommend for lists for Siri itself or for Apple Watch is to use in the Reminders app, and that would be the shopping list works really well, and the a little known one is like a Christmas list. It's fantastic to have a Christmas list either for yourself or for other people. How many times have you been asked, what did you want for Christmas? And you cannot think of anything at all. But as you're cruising through your day and you see something that either you want for Christmas or you're like, oh yeah, I want to get that for so-and-so, you just tell Siri to add it to your Christmas list and you know it's there. So when it's time for Christmas time or other events that you want to do, then that works pretty good for that. And you can make tons of those different kinds of lists. And then you can just, as you're just going throughout your day, you can just add stuff to those lists. And you really feel great when you don't forget stuff like that. So Siri is another fantastic one. Another one I use directly on here is my time tracking app, which is called A Tracker. I just have a little widget there, and you can just start your timers and stop your timers, and you can see which ones are running. So if you're in the middle of doing something and you need to switch over your time tracking to whatever it is, whatever you may use time tracking for, it's super handy to have it here on your watch. You don't have to find your phone. You might be in a different room in your pocket. Who knows? But this works really well. And you just click it, and then it starts your timer, and then you click it again, and it instantly syncs to your phone, wherever that might be. It works really great. Another one that I think is really awesome is the application called Giraffes. And I do this a lot when I'm thinking about stuff I just want to write down real quickly. You can use Siri, which works really good to make a note, but I prefer using the Giraffes app, and I have a little complication right there. And so when I think of something, I just click it, and then all I have to do is click that, and then I start dictating what I think I want to remember, and it works really well. And then you hit done when you're done, and then it saves it, and you can see it's on an inbox inside your watch, and then it will sync with the Giraffes app on your phone itself. It works really good for something like that. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is right here on this watch face. You've noticed that I have a calendar complication on it. This is extremely useful, especially when you have a lot going on throughout the day, to be able to just glance down and look at what your next appointment is. And then you can just click it and just drill down to if you need anything else done. It's pretty handy to have that directly on there. Again, you can have this on your phone, you can have this on your watch, and it works really good. No. And again, you can have this on your phone, but it's pretty handy to have it right here on your watch too, so you don't have to pull your phone out to see where you're heading out next. Okay, the last thing I want to cover is the basics. And the basics of a smartwatch is being able to get notifications from your messaging apps or notifications from your email, and then being able to interact with them is a very, very efficient way to triage and get stuff knocked out while you're on the move. This watch really is really good for that kind of stuff. I use it all the time. Well, I use this and other smartwatches all the time, and it works really good too. Just real quickly, wanted to show you the Giraffes application, that stuff we just went to. It just popped right into there, and there is what we talked about. Giraffes is pretty powerful piece of software that requires its own video, really. But I use it to quickly jot down something, especially on my Apple Watch, and then I can send it to several different apps, like my task list. I can just click that and it goes straight to my tasks. But yeah, it works pretty good for that kind of stuff. I recommend looking into that application. Well, thanks everyone for staying to the end of this video. I really appreciate you sticking around and watching my video, and hopefully I can see you on the next one.